talking to him earlier in the process. I didn't speak to him today. This has been extremely difficult on him and something that has hurt him a lot. So I'm sure this was just more icing on the cake for him.
When did you speak to him?
Earlier in this process.
Like this year? Or?
Yes, yeah, over the last couple months, a number of times.
What are your personal feelings, Lane, about that season? You look back on the 05 season. Reggie was such a great player. Now the fact that he's got to give that trophy back. How do you view what happened that year?
Well, from my understanding, he doesn't have to give it back. This was his decision to do. And so, like I said, I respect that. I don't think of that season any different than that. I think that season is a great year until the last 6 minutes of the game. When we had a 2-score lead and blew it away. So, other than that, I have really good memories of it.
What do you respect about the decision?
That it's his decision, and whichever decision he would make, I'd respect. And so, I don't really, have an opinion on it, what I would do, but I respect whatever decision he came up with.
What do you think it means to the university?
I don't know. The university's already made a decision to give the Heisman back from here, and so I don't think it really means much to the university. The university already made its decision.
Have you talked to your team about it? Have you addressed that at all with them?
I just mentioned it to him on the way out. I know that you guys view this as a really big deal to this team. Most of these players don't even know Reggie Bush. None of them were here when he was here, so it's not as big a deal to them as you may think it is, or a topic that we didn't even discuss in the team meeting. The only reason I brought it up was just so they weren't surprised when you guys asked them.
But they are suffering.
But his actions caused this team this year not to be able to go to a bowl game.
Yeah, but that's irrelevant to anything these guys did. Whether he gave a trophy back or not. I've said it before. Unfortunately, the wrong people are suffering. The Trojan fans and these players that weren't here.
Do you think Reggie should apologize to the university?
It's not. I don't. That's not really my position to comment on. I really don't care, to be honest with you. This has nothing to do with this team. It has nothing to do with the direction of this program. That's the past. Obviously, we're suffering from it, and we're moving forward and making the best of the situation.
Wayne, did you go over the injury list at the game?
No, I didn't have a chance. Okay, back to football. Armand Armstead was limited. Nick Perry was limited. Brian Bauckham was full. Marquise Simmons was full. Simi did not practice. Xavier Grimble did not practice, and Jordan Cameron was limited.
You were already getting thin on the defensive line with those guys limited. What does that do lineup-wise?
Well, it's an opportunity for some other guys. We have not played very many defensive linemen through the first 2 games, except for late in the Hawaii game, and we need to develop depth. That's a position that normally most teams rotate 2 groups in there, 7 or 8 guys throughout the game, especially earlier in the year. We haven't been able to do that, and we need to start doing that. And so we've got to play some guys that haven't played very much. We're going to have to put Christian Thomas in there, who was a tight end 2 months ago for us as a true freshman. Kevin Green, who really hasn't played very much at all, is going to have to play some. We've moved Derek Simmons out there. He was the guy that we'd been using to give us a break out there, even though he's really a D tackle. So it's one of the positions extremely thin, and it's just once again is a reminder of it's good for us because this is what it's going to be like over the next 4 years, and so we're getting used to it.
Even though your dad worked with Pete Carroll, it's still kind of a new defensive system. Last year, Tennessee, obviously all the systems were new for those guys. Did you notice over the course of the season the guys getting better on defense at Tennessee, more comfortable and playing faster and stuff?
Yeah, we were playing really good last year for a while, and we got a number of injuries, especially at the linebacker position, and we lost our true freshman safety to a suspension. But prior to that, there was a point in the year where we had given up the least explosive plays in the country. So our guys were really getting a grasp of the defense, and then we had a couple bumps in there with some injuries and a suspension. But our guys will improve. We played 2 games together, and they'll continue to have a grasp of the defense, and we'll improve up front because we keep moving guys around from inside to outside. So hopefully once we get completely healthy up there and we get guys in the same spot, we can continue to improve.
Is the running back the tailback situation status quo in terms of Tyler still the starter? And
yeah, as of today, Tyler's the starter. We're still looking at all the other guys, and we'll continue to take in everything they do throughout the week and when they get their chances to play as well.
Mitch got a lot of work today at quarterback. Is that any particular reason why he got so much work?
No, that wasn't unusual. There was nothing different. He took his normal amount of reps. He had been limited, in the Hawaii week, and so he hadn't taken as many. But since then, that's the normal amount.
Do you foresee Marquise Simmons having a role on this team if he's healthy?
I hope so. I hope he can help us on special teams, eventually help us at linebacker. We don't really have very much depth there at linebacker. We've really, besides, getting Chris in there a little bit in that Hawaii game, we've played 3 guys the whole entire time, really. And in that last game, we didn't play a backup 1 snap, so it would be good to get some depth there.
Are you any closer to figuring out which freshmen are going to redshirt and which are going to play?
Yeah, basically the guys, if we haven't played them yet, they're most likely going to redshirt, and then the guys we're going to play. And once we play them, we're going to keep trying to play them some more. So that'll help to our depth, hopefully.
Is there any chance because the defensive line, any chance you'd throw Yuko out there?
Probably not unless we unfortunately had some more injuries. We'd really like to redshirt him, even though he's a good player now. He's going to be a really good player for us. We've got to find a way to redshirt some of these guys for what's coming.
Obviously, we don't know if Jordan Cameron's going to be able to play Saturday, but in the meanwhile, Blake Ailes is getting a lot more reps. What have you seen out of him in spring and fall, and where's he at?
We've seen flashes with Blake. We're looking for more consistency. He'll make a play here or there, but then the little things he'll step wrong, with some technique stuff. So he needs to be more consistent. This could be a good opportunity for him.
Did you ever get a determination on why Ellison was ejected?
I did not. The only thing that we have heard from the conference is that he's fine to play this week.
And did you mention penalties at all today? Did that come up at all in meetings or anything, or are you sticking to that? Not.
I don't know what you're talking about.